Welcome to the Drunken Zombies podcast, your daily fix of all things zombie. Get ready for some serious brain-chopping action.
And maybe a few laughs along the way.
I'm Adrian.
And I'm Julia, your guide to all the juicy bits of zombie lore.
That's right. We're serving up a fresh new zombie story every single day.
Right here on the Drunken Zombies podcast.
If you're a fan of zombies and, crave those tales of the undead, then you are definitely in the right place.
So think of us as your personal storytellers,
leading you through a world of brains and mayhem.
Speaking of brains and mayhem, don't forget to hit that rate button and follow us for more
Spine-tingling episodes.
Yeah, keep those notifications on. You don't want to miss a single bite. All right, let's crack open today's story.
The Z Factor. Beyond deadlines.
Ooh, sounds intense.
So, picture this.
Yeah.
A world where humans and, get this, rehabilitated zombies are trying to live side by side.
Rehabilitated zombies.
That's a new one. It's less about peaceful coexistence and more like, that awkward morning after a wild party.
Where nobody quite remembers what happened.
Exactly.
Definitely a recipe for some tension. This story really digs into what happens when society tries to rebuild itself after a zombie apocalypse, and the scars, both physical and emotional,
that just linger long after the initial chaos.
I can already feel the drama brewing.
And what better way to test the fragile piece than with a reality TV show?
Oh, they're going to go there.
That's where the Z Factor comes in.
The Z Factor? What is that, Survivor meets The Walking Dead?
You got it. But with a prize that could change everything, not just for the humans, but for the zombies, too.
Whoa. The stakes are high. This isn't just about fame or fortune.
This is about the future of two species figuring out how to, share a world.
Heavy stuff.
So we meet Jasper.
Jasper?
Yeah, Jasper, once a brilliant engineer whose inventions, they used to be all the rage,
Toast of the town.
Yeah. But now...
Yeah.
He's drowning in debt, probably wondering where it all went wrong.
Oh, the classic underdog story. Love it.
Then he sees this ad for the Z Factor, and it's all about this crazy idea, a human-zombie team-up.
Wait, what? Humans and zombies? Working together?
That's the twist.
This is getting good.
Let's be real. You can't blame the guy, right? After a zombie apocalypse, would you trust them?
Talk about trust issues. After everything humanity's been through.
But, desperation sometimes makes us confront our deepest fears.
And our prejudices.
And that's how Jasper meets Zed.
Zed? Is that the zombie?
Yep, a zombie who challenges everything Jasper thought he knew about the undead.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's so special about Zed?
Well, he's not your typical mindless, groaning zombie. This guy, Zed, he's alert. He's intelligent. He's got this unexpected depth that completely throws Jasper off guard.
Sounds like more than just a mindless eating machine. There's got to be more to him than meets the eye.
The story describes his gaze as having this sharpness and understanding.
Sharpness, understanding. Wow. Makes you wonder what's going on behind those eyes. What thoughts, what memories?
And their partnership, well, let's just say it doesn't sit well with everyone. We're introduced to Colonel Harris.
Colonel Harris.
Ex-military hardened leader. And to him, Jasper and Zed working together, it's like a betrayal of everyone who fought in the zombie war.
Oh, I bet he's furious. Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
Their rivalry, it becomes this microcosm of the larger struggle. Those clinging to the past and those who are, willing to embrace the unknown.
It's like the whole weight of the apocalypse is pressing down on this one reality show.
The Z Factor becomes the battleground for these conflicting ideologies. Can they coexist? Can they overcome their differences?
And with life or death challenges and cutthroat competition, this is going to get messy.
It really pushes them to their limits, not just physically, but mentally, too. It's about navigating the treacherous terrain of human emotions and the unpredictable nature of trust.
Oh, can't wait to see how this unfolds. This is going to be good. And the story, it really just throws us right into this world, the unease between humans and these rehabilitated zombies.
It does. Like right away, we see Jasper in his worn-out chair bills piled up everywhere, and the TV's flashing these images of the Z Factor with its, life-changing prize.
It's such a stark contrast, right?
Totally.
Like the world's moved on, adapted to this whole zombie thing, but he's just stuck.
There's this one line that really got to me. It said, in a world that had grown accustomed to the undead, The only thing more dangerous than being a zombie was being forgotten.
Ooh, yeah, that's creepy.
Sends chills down your spine.
Totally, like this primal fear.
Of just fading away.
Becoming irrelevant, even in a zombie apocalypse. That's worse.
Right. It's like this extra layer to the whole prejudice thing.
So why does he join the Z Factor then? Is it just the money?
I think it's more than that. Like, he's trying to prove he still matters.
In this crazy new world.
Exactly.
Okay, so tell me more about Zed. What's he like?
He's described as this anomaly among the undead, alert, intelligent.
Really? Not your typical zombie?
Not at all. And there's this emphasis on his gaze. It's sharp, and there's an understanding there.
Sharpness. Makes you think, what's going on in that brain?
Right. Like, what's he thinking? What's he seeing?
So how do they even end up on the show together?
Their auditions, it's a whole thing. They have to navigate this obstacle course, and they actually do pretty well.
Because of Jasper's smarts?
Yeah, and Zed's surprisingly agile.
So they have to rely on each other.
Which is probably the last thing Jasper wanted.
But not everyone's happy for them, right?
You mean Colonel Harris?
Yeah, what's his deal?
He sees it as a betrayal, like Jasper's spitting on the memory of everyone who died fighting the zombies.
Oh, that's intense.
It shows you how deep the divisions run,
Makes you think, can humans and zombies ever really move on from something like that?
The show really throws some tough challenges at them.
Like what?
Well, there's this maze filled with traps and puzzles. It's brutal.
Sounds stressful.
It's a real test of their limits, individually and as a team.
I bet the tension is thick between them.
Oh, yeah. Jasper keeps doubting Zed, and Zed's trying to get him to trust him more.
Any good quotes from that part?
Yeah, Zed says to Jasper at one point, "You need to trust me, Jasper. I can do more than you think."
Wow, he's really trying to prove himself.
But they end up almost last because Jasper just wouldn't fully trust Zed.
Ouch. That's gotta sting.
And Colonel Harris, he doesn't miss a chance to rub it in.
Of course not.
He even sabotages them.
Really?
Yeah, reflecting that deep-seated resentment that some people still hold. In the next challenge, Jasper, being the engineer he is, tries to go all out with technology.
Oh, I can see it now. Gadgets and gizmos galore.
But he forgets about the human element, emotions, motivations.
And Colonel Harris uses that against them.
Exactly. He uses an EMP device, and all of Jasper's fancy tech goes kaput.
Talk about a disaster.
It's a major blow to Jasper's ego.
But it's a turning point, right?
Yeah, he realizes that tech alone can't save him.
He needs Zed.
Zed says this great line, "You thought you were fighting machines, Jasper, but we're fighting people."
It's true. The real battle is against fear and prejudice.
And as they start working together, they stumble on this conspiracy behind the Z Factor.
What do you mean? It's more than just a game?
Way more. It's like a cover for something dark. These experiments to turn zombies into weapons.
No way. That's terrifying.
It is. Suddenly, it's not just about winning the show anymore. It's about stopping this whole thing.
So their little team becomes this symbol of resistance.
And it all leads up to this epic final challenge in this huge arena.
What do they have to do?
Retrieve a flag while navigating this maze filled with traps and controlled zombies.
Oh, no. That's intense.
And, of course, there's a twist.
Always a twist.
They get separated.
Oh, no.
And Jasper's faced with the thought of losing Zed.
Not just as a partner, but as someone he cares about.
Exactly.
So what happens to Zed?
He comes face to face with the mastermind behind everything. It turns out the plan is to basically eliminate the zombie threat by turning them all into mindless weapons. And Zed's the prototype.
That's chilling.
It is. But both Jasper and Zed, they find a way to fight back. Their reunion is this epic showdown against the mastermind and his forces.
Do they win?
They do, but not without a cost. The mastermind tries to destroy everything, unleashes this horde of crazed zombies.
What?
It's pure chaos, and Zed, he shields Jasper, puts himself in danger.
Oh.
Jasper has to race against time to disable the thing controlling the horde.
Does he make it?
Just in time, the horde collapses, Zed's injured but alive.
Thank goodness.
It's a victory, but it's bittersweet,
It really shows that even in this crazy zombie world, there's still hope, courage, connection.
But they've only won a battle.
The fight for equality, that's just beginning.
Man, this story really gets you thinking.
Doesn't it? It really makes you think about all these big questions, prejudice, fear. Can we all just get along?
It throws a wrench into those typical zombie apocalypse stories.
Like what happens after the dust settles?
How do you rebuild a society after something like that?
And how do you deal with all that leftover mistrust?
It's not just about fixing buildings and stuff. It's about, rebuilding trust,
Got
empathy.
you human again, basically.
Exactly. And I think the story uses the whole reality TV show thing really well to explore that,
Right, because you see how easily fear and prejudice can be used,
to manipulate people.
and how those in power can take advantage of others, whether they're human or zombie.
Makes you think maybe the real monsters aren't the ones with the rotting flesh.
Sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create ourselves.
Through our fear, our ignorance.
Our unwillingness to see past the surface.
And Jasper, I mean, he goes through a real transformation, doesn't he?
He really does. He starts out hating zombies, thinking they're all mindless threats.
But Zed changes all that.
Zed's character is so important. He's smart, he's resourceful, he's kind of...
It throws all those zombie stereotypes out the window.
It makes you question everything you thought you knew.
What do you think, listener? Does Zed change your view of the undead?
I think he challenges us to look deeper.
To see that everyone, even a zombie, has the potential for intelligence, empathy.
And maybe even humanity.
And the story doesn't sugarcoat things either, It shows the trauma, the loss that people would go through after a zombie apocalypse.
The anger, the fear, it would be hard to move on.
But there's still hope, this idea that even after something so awful, people can connect, understand each other.
Build a future together.
I loved the ending. They win the competition, expose the conspiracy, but they know the real fight's just starting.
It's like planting a seed, but it needs to be nurtured.
And it's up to everyone to make that happen.
Their story is a reminder that we all have a part to play in fighting prejudice, fighting fear.
It starts with each of us.
Choosing to embrace empathy, challenge our own biases.
So what do you think, listeners? Can humans and zombies ever truly coexist?
It's a question worth pondering. And be sure to join us tomorrow for another terrifying tale.
Right here on the Drunken Zombies podcast. Until next time, stay zombie aware. And remember, sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones hiding inside us.